Wow. The NCAA finally got some good publicity, Dan. What do you make of all of this?
Well, it's, I think, a very long process to get to the final result. I don't think the NCAA can just kind of flip a switch and say, hey, now we're doing name, image, and likeness. They need to figure out how it's going to look and the structure and what maybe some guardrails and controls, because as Mark Emmert said, they are not interested in a model where third-party endorsements just have kind of free reign to do what they want. And I sort of understand that from their perspective, but they feel the pressure. They understand the times have changed, the legal challenges, or I should say the legislative challenges that are being presented in various states and potentially the U.S. Congress. And they know they have to act, but it was intentionally vague what they did because the truth is they just don't know exactly what it's going to look like.
And I wonder, how do they cap this? Because I just don't know if they're going to go, hey, Tua, you can make as much money at Alabama as you want off your likeness. I just don't think that's going to happen. Or, Lawrence and Clemson, conflicts here. There's a lot of barbed wire in here, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think that the issue is so much Tua Tagovailoa is a huge name now, and he's a star, and he can go out and negotiate all these deals because of how well-known he is. I don't think that's as big of a challenge for the NCAA as the recruiting element, and that was what kept coming up in talking with a lot of the people yesterday who were trying to figure this out on a policy level. It's not so much the name, image, and likeness opportunities for current athletes. It's how do you allow that, liberalize that, while preventing it from becoming a situation where it's just boosters or people who own businesses in college towns throwing money at recruits and saying, come to this school that I root for and play for Alabama, Clemson, whoever, and we'll give you X amount of money.
Yep.
That's what they want to try to prevent, but how do you do one without the other? It's a really hard needle to thread, and I'm not sure how they're going to figure that out.
Yeah, and that's been my big concern about this from the beginning is if you know that if I go to that school or that conference, this is what I can make, or they're promising me that I'm going to make this, and therefore you might have somebody saying, yep, he's slotted to go to Arizona. Oh, nope, he's going to LSU. Well, maybe this is just more above board because we know it's gone on in a lot of these cases. So I'm just not sure. I think a player should be able to control his likeness. I just get worried that, just like you said, the boosters come in and say, you know what, if you sign with us, we got $1 million slated for you to make over the first 2 years here, and all you got to do is show up on Sundays at my car dealership.
Yeah, and look, I know there's a lot of people who will be out there saying, well, what's wrong with that? And maybe there isn't in a kind of perfect world. There's nothing that would be problematic with that. But I think in reality, when you're dealing with 16, 17-year-old kids, high school recruits, you don't know how they're going to pan out. There's a small group of the Zion Williamsons who are going to come to college and be awesome. They're going to be stars. But especially in football, you go through the rivals lists every year. A lot of these high-profile players, they don't pan out, and you get a bunch of guys like Johnny Manziel was a 3-star recruit. He's not a guy who would have commanded huge money as a recruit to go to Texas A&M, but he became a big star, and because of the way he played and the way he was perceived, he could generate those opportunities. And I do think it's problematic to put a 16-year-old on or a 17-year-old that much money in their hands, bring them on a college campus with all these expectations, boosters who kind of feel like maybe they own the player. Like, there's a lot of issues there that I can understand why the NCAA's got some discomfort with that.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.